And as I say, the purpose of this little workshop is to just give you an overview of the application process for both graduate and CEU students. And I will address the difference between those two kinds of students as part of this. As I say, these are the some important websites: the Loyola Institute for Ministry, an overview, and then the application. I want to give you a sense of the difference between graduate and CEU. So we will offer 6 courses in the LIMEX process. And this is the cost per credit for LIMEX. That's the cost per credit, the cost per course, and there are no fees in addition to that. And online, if you, after the 6 courses, if you go on to take graduate courses, additional courses at the graduate level, you can earn, in addition to the certificate in theology and ministry, you can earn a graduate degree in either pastoral studies or religious education. And if anybody already has graduate credit, you can apply 6 of those credits or 2 courses towards the 12 courses that are required for the master's degree. The CEU cost is the same whether for LIMEX or online. The CEU cost is $135 a credit and $405 per course. The difference between graduate and CEU, there are strengths and weaknesses to both, is that graduate involves deeper engagement with the material and with the faculty through required writing, and may be counted towards graduate credentials such as a master's degree. CEU requires prayer, reading, and participation, but not that deeper engagement with the material and with faculty. And so in order, and so there, kind of there are trade-offs to both. The CEU is less work, does not require an undergraduate degree, but also doesn't have the deeper engagement that the graduate program does. The graduate program requires an undergraduate degree, requires more work, but involves kind of deeper engagement with the material and with the faculty member. So we could talk more about that, what that means at the end. So this is an overview of the application requirements. The application requirements are a little bit different for CEU versus graduate. Both require an application. Both require a statement of purpose, and I'll say more about that in a second. Both require a resume. Both require letters of recommendation. The graduate application only requires, the graduate application requires official transcripts sent from the school to Loyola. So, and again, we could talk more about that. So that's an overview of graduate versus CEU. So let me say something about the application process. If you remember at the beginning, I gave you the link to the application. And so when you go there, this is what you'll see. And if you look at the bottom, there are 2 options. One is for first-time users, other is for returning users. And so if you're a first-time user, you click on this and it takes you to this page where you're asked to register. You enter your email address, your first name, your last name, and your birthday. So don't forget those, because that's how you're going to register and access your application. You'll click continue, and this is the page that you'll come to. And an email will be sent to the email address you entered with a temporary PIN, personal identification number. So you go to your email account, get that PIN and enter it here along with your birth date. Okay, and when you do that, you'll click log in, and I'll show you what you'll see in just a second. So if you're a first-time user, you need to register. Like I say, you register by giving your email address, your first name, your last name. An email is sent to your email address with a temporary PIN. You get that, enter it here, and then log in. If you're a returning user, if you've already started an application, you just click here. And this is, I've started a lot of applications, kind of dummy applications, and so I have a lot on my page. But if you started an application, your application would be here in blue, okay? If you need to start a new application, you click down here, okay? And so I'm going to play like we're starting a new application. So I'm click down there. It's going to ask you what kind of application you want. And so for the purposes of this program, whether you're wanting CEU credit or graduate credit, you would still click graduate program applications, 2021 graduate program applications. So again, whether you want CEU or graduate, that's what you would click. If you've already started an application and you click something else, that's okay, we can fix it. But then you click create application, and then it'll ask you an application type. In this case, 2021 graduate program applications. You should say 2021 spring. I've already created one, so I had to pick summer. So you click create application, and then if you're a first-time user or returning user, this is where it will your application will bring you. And the CEU application and the graduate application are very similar. But this page gives you the instructions, the overall instructions for the application. So you need to fill out the application, the statement of purpose, the resume, the 2 recommendation forms, and the official transcripts. Official transcripts on this website, there's an address for the official transcripts to be sent to from your school. Recommenders can also type and mail a recommendation if they want. However, there is an electronic recommendation form that I'll show you that's easier. If you look on the left side, here are the sorts of things that you would fill out on the left side. Your personal background, so your name, your address, your phone number, general application information about you. And then the next thing, the program information will be important. So if you click on program information, this is what you'll see. It'll ask you, what was your previous undergraduate major? And then what is your intended major at Loyola? So you click on that and you get lots of different options. And so I just clicked Master of Pastoral Studies. You could click, those of you who are thinking of just taking 6 courses for CEU credit would click the Continuing Education Certificate in Theology and Ministry. Those of you pursuing graduate credit would click Graduate Certificate in Theology and Ministry. So you would select one of these. And again, if you make a mistake, not to worry, we'll figure that out. If you select a graduate degree, it's going to ask you your focus area, your intended focus area, and you can select one of those. So after you select the programs that you're interested in, then you'll be asked to enter, if you're a graduate student pursuing graduate credit, what your educational background is. I'm not sure if you're asked that if you're pursuing CEU credit, but you certainly do not need to send a transcript if you're pursuing CEU credit. So you'll be asked your graduate background. Whether you're CEU or graduate, you will be asked to submit supporting documents. So I'm going to click on that. You'll be asked to upload a resume, and then you'll be asked to upload a personal statement. And sometimes people get a little nervous about personal statements. Here is, we give you a link with information about what we're looking for the personal statement. But basically, we want you to type a 3-ish, 2 to 3 page personal statements, kind of saying what your interests are, what your ministry interests are, and what you hope to get out of this program. And so when we introduced ourselves to each other, when you introduce yourselves to me, you already started writing your statement of educational purpose. You said, I'm in this parish, and these are the ministries I do, and this is why I'm interested in this program. So you've already written an outline for your statement of educational purpose. You just need to expand on that. I like to think of vocation. There's a common definition of vocation that I don't remember the exact words, but it's something like this. Vocation is where the world's great need and my great love intersect, that point. And so you might frame your statement of educational purpose around that. What is the world's great need? What is the church's great need? You know, you all are involved in RCIA or catechists or lectors or extraordinary ministers or all different sorts of things. So the church needs that. The world needs things. And then what is your great love? My great love is to contribute to that. And you could develop that. And then say how you think you'll benefit from this program. And so really it's getting you to think ahead of time. Why am I doing this? We want to know that you've thought about this, and it'll help you think about why you want to do this and what you want to get out of it. And so, like I say, sometimes applicants get a little nervous about the statement of educational purpose because they haven't been in school for a while or because they find it intimidating. Don't worry about that at all. Most of our students are returning after a long time away from school, so don't worry about that. So like I say, you'll upload supporting documents, your resume, your personal statement. I showed you the prompt for the personal statement. The only thing remaining is the recommendation forms. We ask you to get 2 recommendations, and I can tell you what they may not be from. They may not be from a member of your family or from a relative of yours. They may be from anyone else who could speak to your educational, professional, or ministerial preparation for this degree. So find somebody who can speak frankly and honestly about your ability to pursue something like this, your interest in pursuing it, and whether you've thought about really have discerned doing this. So this could be a pastor, this could be a supervisor, this could be a professional colleague, could be a former professor. Any of those things would be appropriate for this, as long as they could speak to your your ability and your willingness to pursue this. So here's a recommendation. You click continue, and then then what you'll do is you'll add a recommender. So like I say, your recommenders could write a hard copy letter of recommendation and mail it to us, and that's fine. But they can also do it electronically. And this happens by you add your recommender's name, first name, last name, organization, position, blah, 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 blah. I recommend that you waive your rights. You have the right to see their letter of recommendation. You usually get a more honest letter of recommendation if you waive your right to see it. It's not a big deal either way, and I assume you're going to pick somebody who will speak well of you. So you fill all this in, and then you click send to recommender, and a form goes to the recommender, an electronic form similar to this, where the person types in something about themselves and then talks about you, says how they know you, for how long, and whether they would recommend you for this position, and to type some things like that. So that's a letter of recommendation. So you click send a recommender, and that form goes to them. And so at the end, you can review your material. In this case, I've not finished anything, so it's all in red. But that you can review and see what you've done. And if you want, you could say save for later, and you could come back to it later. And you could log out. So by clicking up here, you log out, and then you can log back in with your email and password that you've developed. So, and again, you could say save for later. So that's the application. And here's a website information. Here's an email and a phone number if you have any questions at all. So thank you for listening to this.